Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome into another episode of the Full Send Half Mast podcast. Making sure it's recording, and it is. We're Gucci Mane on this end of the podcast. We've had some trouble the last couple weeks. Finally got it figured out though for the watch party. It took me like an hour of messing with all the bit rates and everything on the OBS to get it all right again for it to work. So I finally did that, got it all working. So we were able to have a successful watch party. But yes, we're back for another Full Send Half Mast podcast, episode 162. This is Daytona 500 recap podcast, Daytona Speed Week, Speed Days, recap show. So we're gonna be talking about that today. We'll also got our drivers of the week, boneheads of the week nominees again back for this week's segment of the show, as well as a preview for this weekend's trucks, no apps, and Cup Series races at Atlanta. All the notable entries, our favorites, our dark horses, what to expect leading into this week's another fun watch party that we're gonna have this Sunday. That should be a good time. And then also our NASCAR fantasy picks. Tom, it's looking pretty rough for us after Daytona. I was looking at the standings, and we got our asses kicked again. So that's all right. We'll give you our predictions for Atlanta and see what happens this week. But first off, Tom, how are you doing on this fantastic Tuesday evening?
Happy Tuesday. I woke up this morning.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that. I was so worn out this morning too, Tom. Like I went on, like it was early this morning, like 3 a.m. and went on my run. I was so freaking exhausted after I was done with it because I've been on like this 3-day bender of just fucking going ham with like these 8-10 mile runs. And I just like, I'm gonna do it again last night. And I got about like 6 miles in. I was like, I am way too far from home right now, and I am feeling like dog shit. So I booked my ass back home, took the fastest route I could home. Yeah, I passed out. I didn't want to wake up this morning. My legs are jello, but that's all right, man. That's all right. We're here. We're alive, and we'll get it again tonight or tomorrow or in the morning, whatever. Yeah, dude. Some NASCAR's back this weekend. We're gonna break down all these races. I don't even really know where to start with Speed Week, man. I mean, the duels kind of were lackluster in my opinion. I didn't really enjoy them too much. I mean, I watched them, but it was hard to stay engaged. Qualifying for the 500 was a little anticlimactic. We did have the KFB sitting on pole, the LaJoy dozer, which we should start off with the LaJoy dozer. I feel like that's the best way to start off this podcast. That dude has got to be the biggest joke of a race car driver on planet Earth, man. Absolute dog shit. He's driving in an RFK Ford that have had so much speed, and this guy chokes it away on the final lap going into turn 3 of the duel. All he had to do was finish, and he couldn't do it.
That's it. He couldn't do it. And it's not like he had a shit car either, right? He actually had a pretty decent car. Like, let's be honest, that thing could have probably ran top 15, top 10 all race in the Daytona 500. But then just to have the absolute resilience to just live to the nameplate of stacking pennies for his next ride and just absolutely eat the wall or just destroy the car and not make it when he was absolutely going to make it is just... You can't script that shit, dude. You can't script it. You can't script it. That is so Corey LaJoy-esque. It's insane to me. I hope to God, I will pray about this on Sundays. I hope to God he doesn't get another chance like that, because all he's doing is taking up a seat that somebody else could have. You know, that somebody else that, could actually benefit from being in that position and not throwing it away after he's thrown away multiple attempts, tries, standings with teams, and still gets rides, first off, beyond me. Second off, actually at this point, it's just not cool. It's not like it's time. The experiment is done. It's over. There's just should be no more.
Yeah, I agree. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic.
It really is. It's pathetic.
At this point, I don't know how many more opportunities he's gonna get. Whatever. I guess it doesn't matter. He's gonna probably still stay around the sport as long, and probably longer than he ever should have anyway. And he'll continue to find rides. But at this point, man, just give up. Just quit, dude. I mean, I joked about it on the watch party, dude. Like, what is it? Stacking pesos. Because he's stacking a currency they don't even make anymore, dude. Like, come on now, dude. Like, come on. How irrelevant is this guy?
Stacking marks, that's what it should be. Like the German mark, they don't make it anymore. Just the marks. Yeah. Where 3 wheelbarrows will buy you or 3 wheelbarrows full of German marks will buy you a loaf of bread. Yeah.
Yeah, he's garbage, man. Yeah, so he chokes away his Daytona 500. Also, we got to talk about Anthony Alfredo. I called it. He was going to race his way in, but unfortunately, they had a hose disconnect in the rear of the car, which is the most Big Daddy NASCAR thing I've ever seen. Ends up getting disqualified from the Daytona 500 duel, which essentially eliminated him from contention to compete in the 500, and they gave the spot to BJ McLeod. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't believe NASCAR did that, man. Like, something that causes no advantage is something that costs you a chance at the Daytona. It just seems ridiculous to me. I don't know, man. That rubs me the wrong way. I feel bad for him too because he made it on in the race. Like, his goal was to race his way, and he did it.
Yeah.
And then to get taken
He
out
did.
like that is just that's heartbreaking, man. That was heartbreaking.
Did you see the technical specifications of the penalty though?
It was the hose that connected to the rear
Yeah.
window that basically
Yeah.
came unlatched or
That's
unhooked.
basically taped on by
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
You gain no competitive advantage.
No.
If anything, you're creating a parachute.
Oh yeah.
And they strip his Daytona 500 entry because of that without appeal. You can't appeal it.
It's so dumb.
That's what are we like? Like, we're talking about like some Third Reich shit right here. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about like the Mao Zedong dynasty in China or the Joseph Stalins of Russia. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about some things that this is the reason why I fully believe that a lot of this stuff that's going on right now is scripted. I think it's scripted. How can you not script that? You don't even give a dude the opportunity to defend himself. What are we like? What kind of sanctioning body does that? Even the FIA gives you a chance to repeal. With all of this F1 shit that's going on with Mercedes and this boosted compression stuff, they're at least giving them an opportunity, the teams, to get together and talk about it and plead their case. You know? And it's not for like the Monaco GP, you know? It's just for a set of regulations. We're talking about the Daytona 500 here over a piece of tape. It's disgusting. It really is disgusting.
Yeah, it's a terrible look for the sport. I mean, to not even give a chance to appeal for something as big as the Daytona 500 is just ridiculous to me. Sure, maybe he loses the appeal, but at least give him a chance to appeal it. Like, come on, like
At least.
NASCAR.
Hear the man out. Hear the team out. What happened? Why did it happen? How are we going to correct it in the future? This is the context of the problem here, you know, and this is the reason why. They don't even get that opportunity. Right here, this is why we make this stuff right here. Because it's just so ridiculous. It's so incomprehensible that the people in charge like that allow that shit to happen. It's honestly just this is the reason why NASCAR isn't number one anymore. Is because of stupid, minuscule, small things like this. Now, it's not a small thing in the team's eyes. That was a huge ordeal. But it is a small thing in the fans' eyes because the race still went on and nobody talked about it, you know, post Friday. Nobody talked about it because BJ got in. So, you know, I don't get it. It's honestly, it's just disgusting. Honestly, it's just disgusting.
I couldn't say it any better myself. I'm disappointing start to the week. Truck series. I don't like this. Maybe this is a hot take. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I hate this Cletus hate, bro. There's so many people hating on Cletus for this truck series deal. Like, what was it? I don't know. I watched just a little bit of Door Bumper. I don't like that fucking show, but it popped up on my feed, and so I watched a little bit of like one of the clips that went viral where what's his name? Tommy Baldwin was bitching and moaning. I've been trying to get my son approved to run in NASCAR, and just because he doesn't have a bunch of TikTok followers, he can't get in there. But then they let this guy with all these TikTok followers just get in the race. Who gives
It's more
a
than that.
fuck, bro? Stay mad.
Well,
Stay mad.
Well, hold on. There is some validity to that statement because we can still talk about that kind of problem with other drivers. For example, Natalie Decker, Haley Deegan, and
Chris Wright. Big Willie Mullins.
Chris Wright actually has racing experience, so he has that under his belt. It's not good racing experience, right? But he's had full-time rides. He's at least finished a couple races without wrecking, although that percentage is lower than the 50% needed. I mean, he's wrecked more than he's finished races. That's what I'm getting to. What I'm saying, though, is that there needs to be some sort of validity to how they and they need to be open with this. NASCAR needs to be open with this. There needs to be a step one, complete this many races in this series, or step two, complete this training by NASCAR, or step three, go to an official test of the car you want to drive in NASCAR, or step four, gain influence, through any of the other high-ranking people within the garage, like going there and talking with these people, and explain to them that this individual may know this much about the car or whatever it may be, the knowledge aspect of it. There needs to be something like that, and it needs to be open with NASCAR. But to get a one race deal like Natalie Decker in a race where we all know what happened. I don't need to explain it. We all know what happened with Decker. That's an embarrassment. That's an embarrassment, especially when she's got her fire suit off before the race with Brett Kircher, and all she's wearing is her bra, and she's just like out there trying to gain likes. You know what I mean? Like, just because she has boobs. That's fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry, but that is the most fucking ridiculous thing I've ever seen at a race car track. That is ridiculous. Out of a driver. How disrespectful. How disrespectful to the women drivers of the sport. Trying to create a name for themselves. But then disrespectful for the racecraft on the track. It's so disrespectful. Now, when it comes to Cletus has that experience, whether it's street stocks, racing in his own series, doing other things outside the series, ARCA. He had ARCA starts last year. Yes, he had problems. He also ran for a pretty shitty team, in my opinion. Didn't really stand a chance there. But he shouldn't be complaining about... Tommy Baldwin should not be complaining about Cletus. He should be complaining about Natalie Decker.
I agree with the Xfinity series having all the checks and balances, but I think the truck series lost its identity, and I think it lost its identity about 5-6 fucking years ago, right? There is no identity in the truck series anymore. I posted in the Discord. This year's truck series field, I don't even know how I posted, but we had a stuntman, retired NASCAR Hall of Famers, fucking YouTubers, OnlyFans models, people that have committed assault. Like the list goes on and on of people we had entered into this truck race. And I think it is perfect. The truck series needs to be NASCAR's equivalent to IMSA's LMP2 series. We need doctors, dentists, lawyers. We need movie stars. We had a movie star in the race. We need OnlyFans models. We need porn stars. We need strippers. We need military soldiers. We need Down syndrome, Special Olympics people in this race. What I'm saying, Tom? The truck series has no identity. Let's this be the identity. We have...
Yes.
Look, come on. Like, I have no problem with it. As long as nobody dies or gets seriously injured, I'm okay with it. As long as you've at least attempted to drive some type of race car at some type of track, at least at some point in your lifetime, you should be allowed to be in that truck race. I don't give a shit.
I agree, but there's still got to be some sort of benchmark. And why can't the ARCA series be the benchmark?
The ARCA series lost its luster again. They've lost their identity as well.
I get it, but like you can still structure it.
Well, the ARCA series should never have been moved to where it is now. Like, the ARCA series should be an exhibition race that happens like a week before the 500. You know what I mean? Like the day
here's
before
what
the
I
Super
don't
Bowl
understand. I don't understand the Cletus hate.
I don't get it. No, I don't get it either.
Instead, we're giving the hate to a guy whose passion and dream and millions of people and have seen him, his dedication, what he wants to do, what he's been vocal about, what he has done in previous years to get him to this point by recruiting Greg Biffle and getting that expertise and getting that help and getting whatever he needs to get to this point, versus people like Natalie Decker, who's just doing it for Instagram likes.
Yeah.
Why is the hate there for Cletus, but not the other way? Well, I know the answer. The answer is that the old men like to see the tits. That's why.
Well, where's the hate for Midget Tyrell? This motherfucker never driven Daytona before. At least Cletus has raced at Daytona and Talladega.
Well, ignorance, basically. It's ignorance.
You know? But he doesn't get the hate, but Cletus gets the hate.
Yeah.
I would argue Cletus had way more, 3 times the experience that Midget had. You know? But Midget doesn't get the hate.
Yeah. Yeah. Ignorance is what it is. I just think the hate is pointed in the wrong direction. That's just what I think.
I think people are just jealous. I think Cletus brings what?
Yeah.
Cletus is everything that's good about NASCAR, in my opinion.
Personality.
Yes. Like everything NASCAR wants to be and strives to be, he is that package. And NASCAR sees that. That's why NASCAR approved him to run this race. Sure, anybody that goes out there at Daytona in a truck series race is going to have the opportunity to wreck like he did. He wasn't the only one that wrecked like that, Tom. We saw Jake Garcia, who's been in the series for 3 fucking years, ends up taking out Tony Stewart with the same type of thing. But his was worse because when he overcorrected, he didn't just overcorrect and then correct back to the wall and take only himself out. He correct back up the track and took out 2 guys with him. So I would argue that Garcia was worse than what Cletus was.
That's not arguably worse. That is worse.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And even Tony Stewart was complaining about it, how bad the trucks were. It was terrible. I mean, he said that they made multiple adjustments just to get one right, and he needed one more pit stop. I mean, he'd been working on it all week with those trucks. And then during the race, too, he couldn't figure it out until the very end that he got wrecked. So you got an absolute elite race car driver in the same predicament, saying the same things. Just the experience that helped him hold on. But we're talking 25 plus years of experience, 30 plus years of experience in a car that, Cletus just doesn't have. But what's the difference between that or what Cletus has and Mini Tyrell? What's the difference?
Yeah. Well, I mean, just look at the 6 laps before Cletus wrecked. What he did in those 6 laps was actually very fucking impressive. Yeah. He was on the outside line. He was able to back up his line to get a run, was able to move down 2 lanes to the bottom lane to get himself in a good position inside the top 10, and he just lost it. That's all it was, man. Anybody could have lost it in that scenario, and we saw it happen multiple times in the race. I don't like the Cletus hate. I hope he gets more opportunities. I think he deserves it, man. I think he does.
Yeah.
And again, Midget is awful. I figured I'd put that in the notes. He is way in over his fucking head. He is, this can be a rough year for old Midget, dude.
It's very rough. It's going to be very rough.
I think.
And you know what we're going to see? We're going to see this Carson guy come out at Martinsville and absolutely dog walk him. That's what we're going to see.
I think Carson Ferguson is 100%. I said it from the beginning of the show. I think I messaged you, Tom. I said, if it's not Carson Ferguson or Jared Fryer that wins this seat, they've made a royal fucking mistake. And obviously they made a royal mistake because I guarantee you put Jared Fryer or Carson Ferguson behind the wheel of that truck, they would have done way better.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Casey Kelly could have done a great job too.
Yeah, Casey Kelly
could have done.
Michael
Casey
Christopher Jr., I believe, would have been good.
Yeah, yep. Christopher Jr. would have been a good one too. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that any of those 4, I would have been completely okay with. Yeah,
I would have chose any of those 4. Well, the top of the list would have been Carson Ferguson.
Yeah,
would have been Carson Ferguson. Absolutely top of the list. And then debatable for the rest, but Carson Ferguson should have got that seat.
Yeah, 100% agree. I agree 100%. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes with Midget for the rest of the year. Jose Carson was an absolute wrecking ball. I think he caused 75% of the cautions in the truck race. He had tires go down, spun out a couple times.
Jesus, dude.
Dude,
Rough.
that was some interesting Host and Carsovar action there this weekend. I already talked about Smoke getting taken out by Garcia. What an incredible finish, though, man. That was a great finish. Coming off of turn 4, I thought Nemechek won the race. Coming off of 4, he's leading. He makes a perfect block to the inside, and it looked like he was going to survive to the line. But I think the trucks have just too much drag, Tom. I think it's too much. Those spoilers are way too big in the back of those things, dude. Those things.
I also think there's a huge
bad.
balance problem. Yeah, I think there's balance problems with it too. I mean, even Tony said it, and I mean, to be honest with you, I wouldn't have known unless Tony Stewart said something about it. But Tony Stewart said something about it, man. You should probably listen. But it sounds like there's a massive balance problem with these trucks.
Yeah, there's something very wrong with these trucks. Like I said, I feel like the trucks lost their identity. The trucks used to be really hard to drive. It was kind of like a veteran v rookie type thing. So it's kind of like where you kind of make your name for yourself in the trucks. And now it's like it doesn't have that identity. We don't have the veteran. Who are the veterans of the truck series, Tom? Is it Grant Enfinger or Ben Rhodes? That's
Ben
it.
Rhodes. Would you say Majeski is one?
I would say he's on the
he's on the rise.
Yeah, he's on that. Yeah, I'd say he's probably fringe veteran of the series. I'd probably say
fringe. Yeah, fringe. Yeah. Yep.
And I would also put maybe a Stuart Friesen maybe on that same list with Majeski. Probably.
Yeah. No. Stuart Friesen, absolutely. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
But that's it. Like, there's no other veterans in the truck series, and so there's no like veteran v rookie thing. And then it seems like a lot of the rookies these days aren't even going the truck route. They're usually just going ARCA straight to Xfinity or O'Reilly's now. Like, there is no identity in the trucks. The trucks truck races just aren't good anymore. I would say, like, it's been hard to watch the truck race the last few years. It used to be like the best series, and now it's not. And the super speedway package with the trucks just seems way too gimmicky, in my opinion, with the amount of drag. And then even Stewart mentions it, where the trucks are just unstable. I mean, geometry. Yeah. It could be a lot of things to do with that, but I've just never seen a car coming off of turn 4 be able to make a perfect block with momentum and then just get freight trained. Like, Nemechek just got absolutely freight trained, dude. He stood no chance coming off of 4.
Yeah.
And he did everything right, and then Chandler Smith wins. It looked like Gio was going to win. Even sideways, Gio was passing Nemechek. Yeah. Like, if that doesn't show what's wrong with the trucks, dude, I don't know what will. But that entire final lap, there was so much fundamentally wrong with the trucks. But let's talk about the broadcast, dude, full of dummies. Mr. Stuffing Things Harvick is just terrible. And Jamie Little, her call to the checker, that had been one of the worst calls to checker I've ever heard, Tom. That was terrible.
It was just a terrible race. I mean, for the broadcast crew, just in general, it was so effing bad. It's so disgraceful. You know, from what we did have to what we have now is just, it doesn't even, you know what? It's not even worth a breath. It's really not.
It's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to change anything.
No. They've decided what it is. I don't know. Chandler Smith ends up winning the truck race. Congratulations to him. ARCA series, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. It was ARCA at Daytona. It wasn't really that good of a race. We saw, Isabel Robusto. It looked like she had probably the best car early on, and then obviously had her mechanical issues. And then Gustine and Jake Finch ended up wrecking at the end when Finch got kind of a bad push by Gio, who goes on to win the race, gets up into Gustine, both teammates side by side. I guess the only thing that I would say they could have done different there is maybe instead of racing side by side, maybe they would have worked together there on the bottom. But then again, we saw it. What was it the one year where Gustine beats Jake Finch? Almost the same scenario last year at Daytona. But this year, Finch was like, I'm not falling for that bullshit again this year. So they end up picking different lanes, not working together, kind of put him in a bad predicament there. And I think that's what cost him the race ultimately in the ARCA series. And again, Midget Tyrell was absolute fucking dog shit in this race, dude. He was terrible.
Awful.
He got beat by fucking Cletus by a landslide in the ARCA race. It wasn't even close. I don't know. Xfinity series, or no, Napa or NASCAR O'Reilly's Auto Parts series. God damn it. Why can't we just call it the Grand National Series, dude? Like, I honestly, like, why? But anyway, Austin Hill dominates this race. I don't know what else to say, dude. He is just fucking good, dude. Like, not only is he super freaking good, but his cars are good. I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of Austin Hill. I've got a lot of bad things to say about the guy. Personality-wise, with all the antics we've talked about it, we can get back into it, but I'm not going to spare you the trouble. You guys know. But that doesn't take away from the fact that I acknowledge ball is ball. Like, this dude is elite. Yeah. He is elite. Corey Day had a good run. I thought Corey Day was probably the most impressive guy in the entire field, but there's a lot of racecraft things that he still has to work out. I'm starting to get back on the Corey Day bandwagon, Tom, a little bit here. I gave up on him last year. And, well, yeah, at the beginning of last year. And then at the end of the year, he had a few good runs. So I was like, maybe there's a little bit of talent still there. I don't know. This race, he was impressive, man. He's got the speed. I think it's the racecraft he's lacking.
Well, let's just wait for a track that requires a little bit of skill.
Right.
Let's just,
he had some incredible saves in this race. I mean, yeah, he wrecked a lot of shit, and he tore his car up multiple times. But there was a few different opportunities in there where it looked like, holy shit, he's done. And somehow wheeled himself out of it, saved the race car. I was pretty impressed with what Corey Day did for certain things in this race. But like Tom said, we probably should just wait a little bit here. Wait till we get to like an actual like Chicagoland or something like that, or Charlotte, and see what happens there. But I'm excited. I don't know. I'm still a Corey Day fan. With what I've seen him do on dirt, he is impressive. We've already talked about the Decker thing. I'm not going to hammer this home. She's going to be obviously a nominee for the Bonehead of the Week. I don't want to waste any more time on her, so we'll move on. The ending was pretty interesting in this race, though. Austin Hill made some pretty good blocks at the end, but what is it with Jordan Anderson? At the end of these damn races, he always finds a way for a top 5 every time, dude. He was a non-factor all day. You look up on the light flag lap, and here's Jordan Anderson pushing Allgaier and then almost getting to the lead, dude. Like, do we need to sit back and actually consider Jordan Anderson as one of the top plate racers in NASCAR, dude?
No.
I'm starting to believe it, dude. I don't know, man. No. I'm a hater, but dude, every time he's in the front of the field at these races, that isn't luck at this point, dude. This has got to be some type of skill set that he has.
No, sir. I can tell you from experience. No, I don't think so.
Did he make a deal with the devil for these finishes? Like, what happened?
Yeah, I think he's got some sort of cult, like, a contract where he just gets this stupid amount of money and, some, like, weird Jesus power, when it comes to the end of these races. I don't know.
He channels his inner Dale Earnhardt at the end of these races, man.
I don't know. It feels weird. It feels like elitist weird. You know what I mean? Like, the elites are somehow involved in this. I don't know how. I feel it. It probably is.
Wait, next week he'll be on the Epstein files. We'll figure it all out then.
Yeah, probably.
Him and the Vickernisms. Oh man. Oh goodness. I don't know. I thought the O'Reilly's Auto Part race was probably the best race of the weekend. It was very entertaining for anywhere like second on back. It was really good racing, but Austin Hill is just good. Like he's just that good, man. I really don't know how anybody's going to be able to beat him on these racetracks. Even if they try to team up against him, it seems like he still has him covered. I mean, he pitted for tires, buried himself back to like 14th with like 30 to go, and he drove back to the lead in like 4 laps. I mean, that's fucking next level, dude. Like, that's insanity to me. Unbelievable run by him. All right, let's talk about the Daytona 500. I think it's time. Where should we start? Let's start with Zilich. Obviously, first Daytona 500. Devastating wave for it to come to an end. Battling for the lead. Looks like he, lack of experience, got a little sideways, made contact, and then it kind of stacked up the field behind him just a little bit, and then obviously it kind of broke loose behind him. Ends up getting tagged, I believe, by, was it Chastain or Cody Ware, one of the two of them were right behind him, kind of tagged him, sent him down to the infield. Austin Dillon comes in and TKOs Briscoe, takes him out of contention. Zilic ends up finishing like in the 30s. Not a good start to the season for Zilic. I think he ends the night with like 4 points.
He'll be fine.
I think he'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. Yeah, I agree. But at least he could say he was at the front of the field in his first Daytona. So that was a pretty good run by him.
That's cool. That's cool. And it wasn't because of chance. It wasn't because of, anything else other than he's just a damn good driver.
Yeah. He's elite talent. I'm excited to get into the bulk of the season schedule and see where it all lines out for Zilic. I think it's going to be a steady progression all the way up towards the front of the field by the end of the year, and I'm excited to see it. We got to talk about Justin Allgaier. Bonehead Move of the Week nominee. Spotter said car to the outside. He makes a move to the outside. Blocks Denny Hamlin or attempts to, puts himself in the wall, takes out like half the field.
Everyone.
That was just stupid.
The only person who didn't get damaged all week long was Josh Berry. Isn't that crazy?
That's unbelievable.
That was a stat. The only person who ever got or didn't get any damage throughout the entire week was Josh Berry.
And he was a non-factor the whole week.
Well, by God, that's what happens when you suck.
Oh, man. That was just stupid. I've watched it back several times. That was just stupid. SVG had a good run going at that point. He gets taken out. Looked like KFB, Larson, Blaney, all of those guys that were legitimate contenders to win the race. It looked like all of them never were able to recover from that incident. Even Hamlin, I think, had some damage. He even said it on his podcast. And that was just stupid. Took out too many good cars at a terrible point in the race. Towards the end of a stage, racing for nothing, basically, because it's not a full-time team.
Yeah, nothing.
It's just lack of awareness. And then the spotter and the crew chief are debating after the wreck happens. Like, we told him there was a car to the outside. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Like, there's a reason this guy's a lifer in the Grand National Series. It just is what it is. He's not untalented, but we've seen this how many times, Tom, over the last 3 years in the Xfinity Series.
Countless.
He's the ultimate choke artist.
Oh, in the Xfinity Series?
Oh, yeah. We all the time between him. We need to talk about this bullshit fuel-saving style of racing. I've heard so many different people talk about different ways to fix this, and I think they're all stupid ideas. You know how you fix this, Tom? We go back to 2-car tandems. That's really all it is. That's really all it is. You ain't fuel saving in 2-car tandems because you could lose the front group super fast.
Yeah, you'll lose laps.
Oh, 100%. It would have less wrecks, more entertaining racing, better finishes, in my opinion.
Or there's another way to fix this too. You get rid of the stage cautions. You can have stages all you want. Who cares? Get rid of the stage cautions.
I still don't know if that's going to help it, though, Tom, because I'm thinking about it. Sure, we're not racing to a caution.
Oh, they still award points.
Yeah, so we're not racing to a caution, but we're still going to be saving fuel to be able to position ourselves in a position to score points. I don't know if there's really a way to fix it with the current format we have.
Just get rid of stages.
I still think they're going to fuel save, though, even without stages.
Why?
Because they're going to, the way the race is going to play out.
They fuel save enough they could do 2 extra pit stops. But their optimal time is what, 48 seconds? 49 seconds? Per lap? And they're hitting 52 seconds per lap. So if you take the math, 10 laps is 30 seconds. 20 laps is 60 seconds. And you're already at 1 lap ahead. Which you don't even lose a lap when you go in pit. So.
No, I get what you're saying. I don't know.
In fact, you'd be out ahead by the end of the race. You'd be lapping the guys who would be fuel saving versus going balls to the walls the entire race.
Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. Because if we say without the cautions or predetermined cautions, or without even the potential to even have a caution, over the
Yeah, no
extent of a
points.
full 500 lap race,
Yes.
eventually it would work
500
out
mile.
where
Yeah.
you would still be able to. I
Yes.
see what you're saying now. That
Yes.
makes a lot more sense. That makes sense. Yeah. I guess that'd be the only way. Yeah, I guess that'd be the only way. But then again, with the way that
Yeah.
the championship format is designed, we're not going to get rid of stages. At
No,
all
we're not getting rid of
anyway.
it. No.
So it's
I
like
mean,
that's
you change the car. You change the car. You take the underbody aero out of it. You skinny up the tires. You give it 150, 200 more horsepower, and you've got yourself an incredible race car.
yeah. Well, until they repave Daytona again, and then it's another problem. We're gonna have to suffer again.
Fine, but you could still tandem draft.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's the thing. If we could get it to tandem drafting, or if we got it broken down where maybe we don't have 2-car tandems, but maybe we have it where your car drives the best in a group of like 4 cars, or 3 cars, or 5 cars, maybe, and make it where it's strategy amongst certain little groups of cars that work better together and have a lot more air turbulence in the field. Maybe make the cars drive, get a little bit of the drag out of the car, get a lot of the downforce taken off. Yeah. Make it where I would see. That's what I was saying. I've been watching a lot of the older Daytona races this week. A lot of them popped up in my my YouTube feed, and I'll watch some of like the ones from like the mid to 2010. Like when I was watching NASCAR, like heavy diehard. Like God, they'd be running a pack for like the first 5-6 laps on a restart, but then by like lap 8 to 10, we're back in a single file line, and the field starts spreading out and spreading out and spreading out, and then it's like you got 12 cars in the lead group, and then it just as the run goes on, there's less and less and less cars in that lead group, and it gets down to where you have like 3 or 4 cars kind of settle it amongst themselves because they're handling better, driving better. That's kind of what we need. I feel like the way that plate racing is, I get it. I get it from the standpoint of people that tuned in and watched it were probably like that. Like I said, Tom, I said there's probably 1% of the people that watch the Daytona 500 are people that don't watch any other NASCAR races all year long. And I think that 1% probably loved it because they don't understand what the fuck's going on. They're just looking at 3 cars deep for 20 rows back, and they're like, this is fucking badass. Not realizing what's going on. And then I think somebody else said it too. And I think this is a good point. If you want those casual fans to maybe stay longer and enjoy it, maybe not mention the fuel save on the broadcast. You know what I mean? Because like now you've got casual people watching it, and they're like, well, if they're talking about fuel saving, they're just like starting to figure out what the hell is going on, and then they start to get tainted. Maybe if you're trying to make those fans enjoy the sport, and we're gonna have this regardless. Maybe I'm not gonna like it, and you're not gonna like it. But if somebody else is enjoying it and having a good time, brings exposure to the sport, I guess it's not a bad thing, right?
Yeah, but let's play devil's advocate here. If we talk about it, a legitimate problem. This is a legitimate problem. This isn't something that, old John Boy down the street who, watches only the Daytona, Daytona 500 once a year, by God, says, they got this fuel saving problem or whatever. Then it's whatever. But there's a legitimate problem with the fuel saving racing that we're experiencing at Daytona. The answer isn't to, well, let's not expose this even more. The answer should be, well, what do we got to do to fix it? What do we got to do to make the fan base, happy with the product? Because at the end of the day, the fan base should be the one. I know that's kind of a double-edged sword, but the fan base should be the ones who are, kind of dictating what racing is good. And I think there's a majority of the fan base right now, whether you tell them that it's fuel saving or not, says that the super speedway racing absolutely blows.
Yeah, but I'm convinced that 95%
I don't think it's a technology probably
of the fans are. I'm convinced that 95% of the fans don't know what good fucking racing is, because we're gonna go to Atlanta next week, which me and you consensually agree that that's bullshit. But they've never experienced it, and they're gonna fucking love it, and we're gonna fucking hate it.
Sure,
and that's not real racing.
But the problem is they've never had the pleasure to actually experience what good racing is at super speedways. That's not their fault. That's not their fault. That's the fault of NASCAR and their direction that they are pursuing. We know what good racing is. We've been blessed. We know what good super speedway racing looks like because we had the privilege of watching it growing up. Now, the kids that are getting into it today, that are watching this, hearing this, seeing all this, they don't really have a leg to stand on, but are they wrong?
Yeah, but you got to go back to the in our era when we actually enjoyed that type of racing. There was still a huge sector of the fan base that was like, "Fuck this shit. We don't want to see two-car tandems. We don't want to see the field get spread out at Daytona and Talladega." You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to see handling be a thing.
Their expectations of a super speedway race were unrealistic because even with the previous gen car, that wasn't a thing. They were spread out. They were single file. They had 2-3 wide instances here and there. But in reality, the Gen 4 cars weren't really that good super speedway racing.
No.
Were good at super speedway racing because they drove like Cadillacs. Nobody cared. They could just wheel it around for 200 laps, and then on the final 5 laps, they'd go. You know? And then tandem drafting came along, and it actually made the drivers work. And it made the racing freaking incredible. It was awesome. Every lap of every super speedway race, you did not know what was going to happen because they could make minutest, sounds like autist, but minutest mistakes, and it would absolutely screw their race. And that was at the absolute prime of super speedway racing. The people who were complaining about that kind of racing again were referring back to the type of racing that, wasn't that good. They knew better, though. These people nowadays, they don't know better. They just don't. The tandem drafting was the best. Absolutely. Through and through. I don't think that we should be withholding information from even the new fans, though, because what we should be doing is curating and showing through races and history on what works and what doesn't work. Because we can go back to the Gen 6 days and show them every race that was bad and every race that was good. Those cars, the rules packages surrounding it, what worked, what didn't work. We know what works with super speedway racing, though. I'm sorry, I'm getting off track, but we know what works with super speedway racing. And we shouldn't be withholding, information to even, new people with stuff like that. I don't feel like. Yeah.
I just lost faith in the NASCAR fan base years ago. I mean, there's people that tell me Atlanta is the best thing on fucking planet Earth, but then they praise that the Roval gets taken off the fucking schedule. So I don't know what to fucking say. I don't know what to do. Yeah. It is what it is. TP says, "Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?" Oh, we're doing fantastic. We're just bitching and moaning like we always do, Got my panties in a while. Oh, man.
Hell yeah.
Let's talk about old Chase sexual fans and how their favorite not so good great blue blood NASCAR driver ends up choking away the Daytona 500 on Sunday afternoon.
Gosh.
Why did he block Tom? Why didn't Elliott make the block on Reddick? What is he doing?
I don't know.
What kind of information are they feeding this man to not know what the fuck's going on? I don't get it, man.
I don't know.
That was a choke job and a half.
That was probably I don't know. Can you think of a bigger choke in the Gen 7 era?
Well, Corey LaJoy. Anytime he's behind the wheel.
Yeah, but that dude's never even had the opportunity to win a race.
That's true.
Kevin
Harvick. Well, I mean, if we're talking like driving, I guess this is probably the biggest choke.
Drivers.
Yeah. If we're talking about strategy, we're talking about Denny Hamlin last
Definitely
year.
Kevin Harvick.
Or
Kevin Harvick at Phoenix, trying to make it 10. Yeah, Rodney
basically
Childers,
every single Phoenix race over the last 8 years at the end. Kevin Harvick and Rodney Childers just the biggest example, but yes. Yeah, that was a bad choke job, dude. And the Chase sexuals, man. I don't know how they're gonna be able to deal with themselves. I don't know how they've overcome. I've seen a lot of people say the race sucked.
A whole bunch of
Chase Elliott lost. Like, dude, seriously, dude. Just because Chase Elliott lost, the Daytona 500 sucked. No, not just because Chase Elliott lost, the Daytona 500 sucked. The Daytona 500 sucked because of the package we have. That's as
Yeah.
and that's another thing too that pisses me off about NASCAR fans. Is like if there's a good finish to a race, the race is automatically good. If there's a bad finish, the race is automatically bad. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people need to separate finishes and the race in a whole in deciding how races are. Because some of the best races that we've ever seen, Tom, didn't have good finishes. But the racing was badass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people are just fucking stupid. Some people, smooth-brained operators, living on the internet for sure.
Smooth
Another thing
operator.
too, Tom, I think this is a good way to end this. Tyler Reddick wins the Daytona 500, but I texted you and I think you agreed with me. I didn't really read in depth into that thing, but you know what? Brett Keselowski wins that Daytona 500 if Riley Herbst doesn't make that block.
Absolutely. 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 I agree with that. 100%.
There's plenty of room for him to get there. He was there.
And he had a speed difference of like 8 miles an hour.
It was insane. The run that he developed.
It was a big run. It was a huge run. And if he wasn't going to win that race, if he wasn't going to win that race, it was going to be closer than Denny Hamlin's race win against Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
It was going to be fucking tight, man. I've seen it back probably 20 times, and every time I watch it, I'm like, dude, Keselowski probably wins that race because Reddick's help was gone at that point. Once he made that move to the inside, his momentum basically stalled out, and Keselowski had Buescher and Stenhouse both pushing him with that huge head of steam. And again, Riley Herbst had a good run too. Like, I'm not saying Riley Herbst made a bad call. I think he's getting a lot of unwarranted hate, because I mean, obviously Brad in the heat of the moment. But Riley Herbst, he also had a run. And he just made his move to the outside a fraction too late, and that's what put him in the wall. Riley Herbst probably could have drag raced to the line, too. He wouldn't have won like Keselowski could have because he didn't have enough momentum. But I don't think he made an unjustified move himself. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like his move was probably just as justified as any other move in the race. He just made it too late, and it really fucked him. And that's kind of how this shit goes. But
hey man, he had a massive run too.
Yeah,
he was just barely not cleared on the outside.
Right. If he makes that move a second sooner, he probably gets pushed to the win. Like
it was gonna be close. I mean, Kez was gonna ass pack him or turn him no matter what.
Right.
It was just gonna happen.
And he probably gets turned into Reddick and then back up into Keselowski. And who the fuck wins then? Because they're all
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Riley Herbst was just trying to go for a race win, man. You can't take that. You can't put that against him.
No.
Riley Herbst. I think there has been plenty of times throughout the last year where we come on here and just shit on Riley Herbst multiple times. But I'm not going to put that against him. He was just going for a win, man. Probably one of the only chances he's ever going to have in his career in the Cup Series. Do you blame him?
No.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
No, I don't think he did anything wrong, honestly. He just, and we can Monday morning, Tuesday morning fucking race car driver this shit to death, but I mean, I've watched it back 20 times, dude. He moves to the outside a second sooner. He's getting pushed by Keselowski. And like Tom said, he's either getting turned, he's getting a hell of a shove, he's drag racing the line. Who knows how it plays out, right? But you can't blame a guy for trying to go for a win. He just made a move a little bit too late. That's fucking Daytona 500, boys. It is what it is. Yep. And I can see why Keselowski's frustrated. If I was Keselowski, I'd be just as frustrated as he was, dude. I mean, I'm not going to lie. He had a massive run. It looked like he probably could have won that race. And I think he does if Herbst doesn't make that move. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was good. I think it's a good finish. Again, NASCAR doesn't give a shit about safety, but whatever. At this point, they don't give a shit. So I posted on X and I said, because there was an angle from the grandstands, I was like, well, you can't convince me NASCAR doesn't care about safety. Which again, it's not a gripe for me. I just wanted to post that to have that on record again. But I don't really care. I mean, we got to see it agreeing. NASCAR doesn't care about safety. We know this. So why would I waste more energy worrying about them not throwing yellow there?
The only thing that I can actually give NASCAR a W for is that they did wreck. and they let the drivers race back to the line. That's how it should be. That is how it should be. Their claims of saying, well, we throw the cautions for driver safety is absolute BS. It's garbage. It's not true. It's just not true. And this whole weekend, from trucks to Cup, trucks, ARCA, Xfinity, Cup, time and time again, we went into the Daytona 500 last year where everybody was saying, well, we need to worry about driver safety. We need to do this. We need to do that. So the Daytona 500, we didn't get race back to the line. In fact, that's the last 2 years. All the other series got to race back to the line. This year, they were actually consistent because they did that from trucks to Cup this year. They let them race back to the line, every single one of them. So give the credit where the credit is due. I can appreciate that. I just don't appreciate their comments of their number one priority is driver safety, and that's why we throw the cautions. Because that's not true. That is lying. And I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. I don't know. I thought the finish was entertaining. It was good enough. I mean,
I thought it was a good finish.
Yeah, I've rewatched it back so many times. I think it was good. I enjoyed it. I'm satisfied. Like we got a true winner. It felt like we truly got a true winner. You know, it didn't feel like, oh well, the yellow button got pushed here and there and fucking trying to micro-examine
exactly.
It and shit.
Tyler Reddick actually had to work for that, and it was satisfying to see.
Yeah, he earned the win. He did. It was congratulations to him. He made a great.
He earned
move.
it.
It was awesome.
It wasn't like, oh, nobody made a pass down the back straightaway, so the lead guy is going to win the race.
Right.
It wasn't like that. Tyler Reddick actually worked for that win, and that was highly satisfying.
Right. Yeah, I agree, 100%. That's all you can really ask for when it comes to these NASCAR races anymore. As long as I'm satisfied at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So, I would give it a pretty good rank on the score for the race. It just stage 3 was just the worst part of the race. It sucked. I mean, obviously the beginning of it, I'm not going to hold anything against the drivers for the first half of the race because that's just kind of the way it is. You got to survive to get to the end. You just got to log laps. It's part of the distance part of the race. It's like running a marathon. Like you don't go balls fucking walls at the first fucking 20 miles. It's all about that final 4 miles, you know? So it's like, or the final 5 or 6 miles. So it's like, yeah, it is what it is. Drivers of the week, Brendan Queen, P7 in the trucks. I had to give him a shout here for driver of the week. He had an incredibly fast truck. Those Rams, I think he was the head of the field out of the Ram group. And there's a conspiracy, Tom, in NASCAR to not let Ram win that race, in my 100% bold-ass opinion. Every Ford, Toyota, and Chevy avoided pushing a fucking Ram all day long. And Brendan Queen drove himself to the front of the field. Nobody helped him. They shucked him out, went all the way to the back, and he drove himself back to the front. He did that probably 6 times in that final stage. Unbelievable job by Brendan Queen. If he had one guy, just one fucking dude, would have been like, I'm going to push that 12 truck, he probably could have won that damn race. I'm not going to lie. I think he deserves a big shout with that P7 finish. I know your opinion on this, but I'm giving Jordan Anderson a shout with another P4, another top 5 at a freaking Daytona Talladega race.
Dude, it's a good finish. You can't deny that. It was a great finish. I just think he's got blood money. That's it.
And then I'm going to nominate Zane Smith, P6 in the Cup Series. He was in the picture for the win coming to the end. He won stage 1 with a little bit of strategy, trying to get those stage points. I think if you're looking at any underdog that came out of Daytona with the biggest to gain going forward in the points, maybe a shocker early in the season and maybe a chase threat, I think Zane Smith will be the guy you got to take out of this Daytona 500 weekend as one of those guys. So congratulations to him with the P6 and the stage win this weekend in the 500. Also ran good in the duel too. So good way to start his season. Boneheads of the week, obviously Natalie Decker, the OnlyFans slut. And so absolutely going ARCA brake master in the Xfinity Series race and blames the guy that she hit. So that was a good way to cap that off. Justin Allgaier absolutely wiping out the field in the Daytona 500. And then Chase Elliott with the ultimate choke job, losing the Daytona 500. Those polls will be up after the podcast for you guys to vote. So I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. All right, now it's time. Let's preview the races here for Atlanta NASCAR weekend. Truck Series got Corey Heim in the Tricon number 1, KFB in the number 7 for Spire, Ty Dillon with Colleague in the Ram, Tyler Reif Tyler Reif in the number 42 for Nice, Recky Roundhouse with 45 for Nice, and then Hosen Karsavar with Spire in the 77. In the O'Reillys, we got Gio Ruggiero back in the number 19 for JGR, Cody Ware with Cope in the number 30, and then old Ross Chastain driving that Jordan Anderson race in number 32 this weekend. And then the Cup Series, Yaley with the 44 with NY, and then BJ with Live Fast in the 78. All right, Tom, the Truck Series, the Freight 208. I think this race is probably the most wide open race of the weekend. We see how the trucks drive with the amount of drag that they have. I think this race is going to have a lot of wrecks because the runs at Atlanta get really big. Like I said, it's the world's fastest yo-yo. It's the most fake, unrealistic, manufactured racing, and it gets exponentially worse when it comes to the trucks. The amount of drag that the trucks have, even the amount of drag the Cup cars have, it's absolutely 10 times worse than the trucks. I think there's something fundamentally wrong with the way that these trucks race in this style of racing. And with that being said, I think experience is going to be the biggest factor in this race. And the guys that have the most experience in this race are going to be like guys like KFB, Hosen Karsavar, a Corey Heim, maybe a Grant Enfinger. I think the winner comes out of one of those four people. I'll take Corey Heim to win this weekend at Atlanta. And then my dark horse, again, if they could bring the speed that they brought at Daytona, I think Brendan Queen is a dark horse threat to win this championship in the Truck Series this year. I'm super impressed. I mean, even watching him in the ARCA last year, I think he, out of anybody coming from like the short track cars tour, super late model stock ranks or whatever, that actually has talent and can compete at the top level in NASCAR, I think that's Brendan Queen. I'd put him above a Josh Berry. I'd put him above a midget. I'd put him above a Cole Butcher, whatever other guys that have kind of made that route over the last couple years. I think Brendan Queen is the cream of the crop. I'm going to take him as my dark horse this week in Atlanta. If he can get some help, that's the biggest thing. Can those Rams link up and actually work together? Because they never were able to do it at Daytona, and no other manufacturer is going to help them. That's the biggest factor.
Yes, yeah. So I'll start with my dark horse too, because, or not two. I'm just going to start with my dark horse because Jay's leaving it. I'm picking it back up. For me, it's Queen too. Who else? Queen has thrown or has shown such resilience and skill and just speed, raw speed out of vehicles, any vehicle that he's driven. You go back to his super late model days as well, and he's just absolutely killing it every time. He kills it. He just kills it. Proven during Daytona, where it's his first time in a truck. He goes out on a super speedway and he performs like that, where everybody else, like Jake Garcia, can't even hold on to the car. And he does it. And he's leading laps. He's up in the top 5. He's like actually doing something. That's so impressive to me. So impressive. New manufacturer, new team to the truck seats. I can't remember if Colleague ever ran a truck before in the past.
So. I don't think so.
Yeah, so let's just say new team. And doing that kind of stuff, superhero shit right there. Superhero shit. He needs a good pusher. He needs, Justin Haley did show some speed. Led the most laps in the race. But those two really need to get linked together, because if they're going to be battling like that against the Toyota, Fords, and Chevrolets, all they have is themselves, and they really need to work together. They need to come up with a better plan on sticking together as the Dodge team, as the Ram team, and making it work. Make it work. But regardless, I think I'm going to probably take Queen for my dark horse for the rest of the year. That was such an impressive showing at Daytona. I'm so excited to see what he can do at the short tracks, what he can do at the medium tracks, what he can do at the longer tracks. I just think Brendan Queen is the real deal. I really do. I think he is probably the hottest thing in the truck series right now. And then for my favorite, I'm going with my usual. It's going to be Enfinger. The experience, the drive, the talent that he has, that he sometimes shows. Other times, I don't know. Did he even race at Daytona?
Yeah, he had a tire go down at some point, lost a lap, and never really was able to recover from that.
Yeah, my point. He gets in those situations somehow. He'll be like the best car on track, and he'll just get the absolute shaft. But well, the one time it all goes right, he wins the race. So I think it's a possibility. But yeah, I'm going with my overall favorite. I'm going with Enfinger.
Okay. Now when it comes to the O'Reilly's Auto Parts series, I mean, obviously you're looking at the RCR guys as the favorites. Um, I'm gonna go. I picked Jesse Love to win Daytona. He came up short. I'm gonna pick him to win here at Atlanta again. Uh, he's got to beat his teammate Austin Hill. That's the biggest thing. I think if anybody left Daytona more disappointed, in any other series besides what obviously the guys that lost the Daytona 500, I think Jesse Love. I think he left Daytona completely devastated. I think this week he's putting extreme focus on this race more than he probably ever has. I think he's more thirsty or hungry for victory than ever. And I think he's going to either bring home the checker flag or the steering wheel. I think he knows he's going to be a championship contender going down the line. And I don't think a wreck going for a win in Atlanta is going to be something that's going to deter him. I think he has a lot to prove. Jesse Love is going to get some redemption and take the win at Atlanta. My dark horse, I'm going with Austin Green. His Daytona didn't go very well, but I'm just a huge fan of this Austin Green. Every time I see him behind the wheel, he's like Brendan Queen, Tom. He just every time he drives, he just shows the ability and talent he has. He's driving cars that aren't that good. I mean, he's with Peterson Motorsport Group or something like that, some startup team. He's raced for Jordan Anderson in the past. He's had every road course. He was a top 10 threat. He won an oval last year in the ARCA series. He is an extreme talent. He's got this full-time opportunity in the O'Reilly's Auto Parts series this year. I look for Austin Green to be a guy that really mixes it up this year. I think he's a fringe, maybe a dark horse threat for a chase opportunity. And then from there, obviously, how many points can he get for seeding to be able to make it run at the championship? But I like Austin Green. I think he's got a ton of talent.
Yeah. So for my favorite, I'm going with Love too. Everything Jay said, I think Love is probably one of the only people who can beat Austin Hill. So he did last year here at this track, didn't he? He won Atlanta.
He won Daytona, and then Hill won. I think Atlanta won. So they.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be opposite this year is what it was last year.
Yeah. And I think that's a real possibility. I think Love can do it. And in fact, I mean, we all know Austin Hill, but for the betterment of the team, Love needs to win this race. Love needs to win this race. Yeah. For my dark horse, I'm just going to stick with it. I'm going with Ryan Sieg. I think the other driver, probably only other driver that can beat Austin Hill is Sieg. You get him in the right spot. You get him at the right time. He's got the car now. He's got the excuse me. He's got the communication lines, the team alliances. He can do it. Absolutely. I think that Sieg is probably the only other guy that can go out there and beat Austin Hill or Jesse Love.
I think him winning at his hometown track would be the icing on the cake here.
Incredible.
Sure. All right. Now for the Cup Series, the Auto Trader 400. Again, I say it all the time. It's the world's fastest yo-yo. It doesn't matter how good of a car you have. It doesn't matter how fast you are. It's really about getting up against the wall in the front of that little draft and basically trying to pull off a slingshot move on the bottom and hoping you get help. Who's going to get the most help and who has the cars that are going to be able to position themselves up at the front of the field the best and be able to control the race? I still think it's Penske, guys. I still think it's Ryan Blaney. I think Ryan Blaney's still the best at this type of racing. I believe he's won here before at Atlanta, or he should have that year. Suarez won. I think Blaney's still the guy to beat. I think he gets redemption for Daytona 500. I'm taking Blaney again this weekend. I still think the Fords are probably going to be the cars to beat, Tom. I mean, we saw them at the front of the field at Daytona. A lot of the wrecks and stuff kind of affected them. We saw some more speed out of Toyota than I thought at Daytona 500. I thought that the Toyotas would have been lagging back just a little bit off of where they were. So I still think that you could look at maybe a Bubba as a good dark horse pick. Reddick, the momentum is a real thing in racing, even though we hate to say it. I think that him and Bubba are going to be some threats in this race, but I still think the Fords. It's going to go through the Fords. And then my dark horse, I'm going to go Jose Carcevar. I think this is his best track in the series, to be honest. Every time they go to Atlanta, it feels like he is always one of those guys. And I think the reason for that, Tom, and why he's so good at Atlanta is because it is the world's fastest yo-yo. And Hosen takes every run he possibly gets. Even if it's going to hurt him and he's going to lose 8 spots, he's still going to take it. And more times than not, by him taking those risks and making those moves, people help him out a lot more than they help other people out when they make the move to the bottom. And I think that benefits Hosen Karsovar in this race. I think he's going to be a top 5 guy towards the end of the race. And if things line up right, maybe he can win it. So that's where I'm thinking.
I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going to take the same picks that I had at Daytona for this race. It's going to be Kez and Priest for me. I think that Buescher, just in regards to RFK, Buescher had a pretty decent race at Daytona as well. But really, Kez had an opportunity to win that race. Priest got caught up in some BS that I'm pretty sure was a Justin Allgaier move that he got caught up in, completely out of his control. But man, was he fast! He was very fast. And honestly, I think that if Kez and Priest could have been linked up at the end there, going towards the checker flag, completely different outcome it could have been. So I'm going to take them again. I'm pretty confident in it. I just think the Fords are just that right now. They just have that package down.
I agree. Yeah, I think it's Ford weekend for sure. Fantasy lineups. I've got Hosen Karsovar. I'll take Cindric. I'm gonna take Zane Smith. I was really impressed. Those front row guys have been really good at Atlanta in the past. I'm gonna take Chase Elliott. It is his hometown race, and I'm gonna use him here. Why not? And then I'll take Keselowski as well. I think Keselowski's a good pick for this weekend, like Tom said.
Yeah, again, I'm gonna take my same picks here. I'm going Blaney, I'm going Kez, Priest, and then I'm gonna go back down to Cindric and Logano.
Yeah, I can't disagree with any of those picks at all. Now matchups. We got the Elliott versus Reddick matchup. I'm gonna go Elliott over Reddick only because I feel like there's got to be some type of script in the air for Elliott this weekend. That's why I put him in my fantasy. It's his hometown track. NASCAR needs to get the ratings up to continue the momentum off the 500. I think Elliott's gonna have a good run this weekend.
I'm gonna take the 45. Actually, I think momentum is a thing. I think he's on top of the world. I think that I think he's gonna go out there. I think he's gonna kick some ass. I think his teammates gonna kick some ass too.
Yeah. I think that the 2311 cars will probably be the best bet, besides maybe like a Hosen or maybe an Elliott to compete with the Fords this weekend. So I like that pick. Next is Keselowski and Herbst, which NASCAR is good at these matchups. I swear to God. It's no brainer for me. I'm taking Keselowski. I think Herbst's shot is shot this weekend, and I don't think that translates to this at
all. Yeah. That's a massive yes. Yes, yeah. I'm going Kez.
All right, next is Hosen Karsovar versus Chris Buescher. I'm thinking Hosen, man. Like I said, I picked him as my dark horse. I think Hosen is a guy that is going to put himself in a better position towards the end of the race, and he's going to take every run necessary to get a better finish than Buescher.
Look, what I saw out of Buescher last week at Daytona, again, a Ford machine on a Ford camp that ran very, very well during the Daytona races. I think that Buescher is going to beat, the Hosens. And I think it's just because Hosen's going to get caught up in a wreck. And it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be of his own doing. It might be because of his own doing. I don't know. But I don't know. I think that Hosen's going to be pretty aggressive. It's either going to pay off or he's going to wreck. I think he's going to wreck.
Facts. I can't disagree with that at all. Next is Michael McDowell for Zane Smith. I'm taking Zane Smith. Again, Tom said it. I think momentum's a thing. This team had probably the best underdog performance in all of Daytona with the amount of points that they scored leaving Daytona. I think that rides off into Atlanta.
I'm going to take McDowell over. That's Zane Smith, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to take McDowell, and it's purely because of experience. That's it. I feel like the 71 or the 38, they're either going to wreck out or, do pretty good. I think they're both gonna wreck, in my opinion. But
Well, the
I don't
wrecks
know.
in Atlanta are always bigger anyway, just because the track's not
Yeah.
not. It was never designed to do what they are doing at Atlanta. Like the whole thing is the most bass backwards racing of all time. Like it's
Yeah,
so
right.
fucking
Yeah.
wrong, dude. Like as a
Yeah,
racing
it's funny.
purist, like it just breaks my soul to watch this race. But that's fine. We'll be here on Sunday for a watch party. We'll shit talk it the whole time and let you know our opinions live on Watch Party. So come join. Make fun of us all you want. We don't really give a shit. We like it. Uh,
Yeah.
but we're not gonna fucking stray from our opinions. Again, it's the world's fastest yo-yo. It's not talent, it's not skill. It's all of a matter of being able to have help when you need it. That's all it is. Because the amount of drag on these cars, it just sucks you back, pull you forward, suck you back, pull you forward, man. It's like, have you ever had a handy with a reach around? That's what racing in Atlanta is. So, that's all I got for this podcast, Tom, on this awesome Tuesday
Yeah.
evening. I don't have any other news or anything. Again, those polls for the Bonehead Driver of the Week, they'll be out after the podcast, so make you guys' vote be heard. We're gonna do again like we do every year. We're gonna have the end of the year awards, the Dega Boy awards. And if you win the driver of the year, Bonehead of the year, whatever it is throughout the end of the year, then we'll let you guys know it. So get your votes in. And make sure to join us on Sunday for the watch party for the Atlanta Cup Series race, another watch party. And then, God, we're getting close to IndyCar again, Tom. We're like 2 weeks
Yes.
away. 2 weeks away. So
Yes.
should be fun. We'll have lots of fun watch parties. Taylor or TP in the chat. Good to see you again, buddy. Thanks for joining on this awesome Tuesday. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Daytona 500. Leave in the comments below on this video all your thoughts, opinions on the Daytona 500. I'm curious to see what you guys think. And if you guys want to join our channel and have stay up to date with everything happening, all of our social medias are on the screen below, as well as all have links in the description below for you guys to follow us. We love and appreciate all your guys' support over there. If you guys want to join the best motorsports community on the internet, that is the Dega Boys Discord. That link is in the description below. All the drama, rumor, news, memes, everything motorsports related from all around the world, all your favorite series, all the racing action you could want. It's right here in our Discord. Come interact with us every single day. We're in there posting stuff. You guys should post your own stuff in there. We love it when you guys do that. We comment, we interact with you guys, and we really appreciate it when you guys join. Also, if you guys want to be a part of this show, join our Discord. Jump in the community chat, and we'll pull you in here and let you guys give your opinions. Any Tuesday you guys want.
Yeah.
We will let you guys join the show. Whether you want to jump in and call us a bunch of morons and idiots or whatever, man, we could take it. We got some tough skin around here. If you guys agree with us, disagree with us. If you just want to talk about something stupid that happened that we didn't even talk about on the show, join our Discord, jump in the community chat, and you guys can be a part of the show every Tuesday. DJ Puckett in the chat. What up, what up? What up, man? Thanks for joining again for this awesome podcast on Tuesday. Again, join our Discord. It's a great time over there. And if you guys want to be a part of the show, again, join the community chat. We'll pull you into the Discord. We'll let you guys get your 2 cents and 2 piece out every Tuesday from now on. We're going to do that as a call-in segment towards the end of the podcast. Also, if you guys want to get some merch, Tom showed us his Big Daddy NASCAR hat. Very much warranted after this weekend. Go buy you some damn Big Daddy NASCAR stuff. If you don't like what's going on in the sport, just wear your Big Daddy NASCAR stuff. We got Big Daddy IMSA stuff in there. We've got all kinds of shirts. We got Andy Jesus shirts. We got Dega Boy anniversary shirts on there, which we need to update that. We need to get the Dega Boys. I think we're closing in on our 4th anniversary. 23, 24, 24, 25. Yeah. 4th anniversary of the Dega Boys channel, man. It's coming up March 3rd. Unbelievable. We're super close to that. Tried hopping into the system earlier, but it was effed up. Oh, on the Discord? Well, we can maybe Tom will post a link for the Discord in the chat here before we end up closing out this, so you could join for next.
I think he was trying to get into the stream earlier.
But get into the stream. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was having. I've been having bitrate issues.
I'll still put a link.
Yeah. If you guys want to join the Discord, yeah, get you some Dega Boy swag. I'm not saying it's gonna make you the most popular rich dude in town, but everybody's gonna think you are, bud. I'm telling you. Everybody's gonna think you're a badass. And what do the kids say these days? Aura farming? You're gonna be aura farming if you wear some Dega Boy swag out in public. You want that? You want that? You want that raise? You're hitting on that hot chick at the bar, but her fat friend comes in and interrupts you. She won't. If you got a Dega Boy shirt on.
Sheesh.
The fat friend will basically be handing over her hot friend to you at that point. So make sure you guys get you some Dega Boy swag. I'm just saying, Tom. Nobody that's wearing Dega Boy merch has ever been disrespected behind a Wendy's. You know what I mean?
That's right. By God, that's right.
That's freaking right. Nobody that's worn a Dega Boy shirt has ever gone to jail. I'm just saying. No, the YouTube app was messed up. I'm in Discord. Alrighty. Perfect. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Our YouTube streams I think last week's podcast basically got wiped off the internet. I think it was like a 4-minute thing, whatever, but it is what it is. What are you gonna do? You sound so hip.
Oh, you in?
I'm hip for an old fuck, that's for sure, man. Some days, like especially this morning, like I said, I got them jello legs. I got them little birdie legs this morning after last night's excursion. Oh man. We'll try it again though. We'll try it again this weekend. YouTube. Oh, the YouTube app was down. Oh shit. Well, come on, YouTube.
Surprise! What a wonderful day to stream.
Well, if you can't see it on YouTube, we're also on Kick. That link is in the description below as well. It's free to sign up. You can we stream on both Kick and YouTube. Just in case for some reason one program or the other has an issue, we always have a backup plan. And unfortunately, we lost our Kick and YouTube stream from last week, so that kind of sucked. So there's nothing I could do about that. But this one worked out good. And we'll have another watch party this weekend, which will be a lot more fun. Maybe we'll crack open some brewskis and we'll let it rip, because Atlanta is my least favorite race of the year for sure. So we'll definitely have some fun making fun of that shit show that we see in Atlanta. But anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. It's been fun. Tom, thanks for joining me on this awesome Tuesday. It was a fun weekend of racing. Daytona is beyond us. NASCAR season is here. We're 2 weeks from IndyCar. We're getting close to Sebring. And the racing season is upon us, boys. It's always racing season. There's just a point of the season there is no racing. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoy the race this weekend. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. See you next Tuesday.